All right, hey World History kids, it's Thursday, yay! One more day and then we have the weekend, very exciting. So today I'll have a quick housekeeping video. I'm going to try to keep my videos shorter. I know from what I've heard, a lot of you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed with some work. So you probably have better things to do than listen to me blab on and on about housekeeping. So I will have a quick housekeeping video today. And then we do have our lesson number 3. And it is actually, I kind of like it. It's a good lesson. And there is some, actually, unfortunately, there is some real world application to today's lesson for sure. And a really, really brief video, but we'll worry about that in the lesson video. This is just our housekeeping. And for housekeeping, I just want to let you know I did post some um, enrichment activities for you if you get done with all the assignments that you've had so far and you want to do something more or your parents are looking for you to do something more. I do have a list of movies that are pretty much appropriate. I left all the R-rated movies off with the exception of The King's Speech. That's R-rated. There are some F words in it, but I mean, I feel pretty comfortable recommending that movie. Some of the movies I left off are the ones that are really violent, especially World War II movies that I think are really good movies. They really show the war and the realism of war, like Saving Private Ryan, a miniseries called Band of Brothers, Flags of Our Fathers, um, what was it? Oh, Letters from Iwo Jima, which is sort of like the other side of the coin of Flags of Our Fathers. Um, but those are very, very graphic, and I don't want to put those up there just yet. I want to get permission and make sure it's all right. But I did put the King's Speech up, and again, parents, it is an R-rated movie. There are some scenes with some language, but by and large, it's a really good movie. It's about King George VI, who was the King of England during World War II, and so it's just very interesting because while Hitler and Mussolini were known for being great orators, they're able to give rousing speeches. Um, King George VI was not, and it really shows just the struggles that he had throughout going into World War II. If you are going to watch any of those movies, kiddos, again, it's just optional. It's just like an enrichment type thing. I do have, each one of you has a little bit of enrichment activity to form to fill out. So if you watch a movie, just put the movie title in. I'm not asking you to do a ton here. Just before you watch it, what era, what do you remember or know about that historical era the movie is representing? And then after you've watched it, just type in anything about that historical era that you learned, that you found interesting in the movie. And then this very right-hand column, I just want you to give me a general overall impression. Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? Would you recommend it? And likewise, if your parents or yourself, you find another movie that's sort of history related, don't feel like you have to stick with the list that I gave you. Go ahead and just put in whatever movies you find interesting in here as well. Um, and then the only other thing that I showed, I linked to a Google Arts and Culture site. Google Arts and Culture is really, really, really interesting. It has all sorts of um, different historical eras, different geographical areas. You can do sort of walkthroughs of various museums. But here in the Google Arts and Culture, this is their Nazi Germany page. And what I really like is I have these stories down here. And what these are like picture stories with a little bit of explanation at each one about different aspects of life during Nazi Germany. Like, for example, this is a story of Auschwitz and the Holocaust, and it has some different pictures and a little bit of explanations about what you're looking at here. And it just, again, it kind of gives a story of different things that happened during Nazi Germany. So that's another thing you can kind of play with. Play with doesn't sound like the right word, but that's another thing you can look at. Just again, if you get done and are kind of interested more about what we're learning right now in terms of Nazi Germany, that's an interesting website to go to. Other than that, pretty much the same old, same old. Keep working on your mandatory bare minimum assignments. And again, if you need your textbook, you didn't take it home, I do have a PDF of the readings you need. It really is black and white and not the greatest PDF, but as of now, it's the best I can do. And finally, the last thing, if you haven't done the Ed Puzzle video just yet, make sure you do that. Ideally, in lesson number 1, there was also just a really brief orientation quiz to take to make sure you understand how everything is working throughout the distance learning. If you haven't taken that yet, almost all of you have, but if you haven't, please do that as well. All right, so that's it. I will be back at you tomorrow with another housekeeping video. Don't know if I'll have another big lesson. Today is a pretty heavy lesson, so maybe I'll have one, maybe I won't. We'll see how today's lesson goes when I start grading things tonight. All right, everyone, I hope you're doing well. Hang in there, and we're going to get through this. I'll see you later. Bye.